Chiefs Kingdom, we are so close to Super Bowl 58. Just a couple days away. And here's what I'm saying. I cannot wait for everything. And I'm excited to hear what all these players think. I mean, this is the biggest game of some of their lives. And listen, they're calm as can be. And I'm excited to kind of get an in-depth dive from them on this game. Well, we've got a bunch of clips for you on today's show. And we're going to be live for Super Bowl 58 on Sunday, just 2 days away. So make sure you're here by liking the video. That way I know to put y'all down, write you in there. All right, this guy's coming, this guy's coming. I got a list. So if you like the video, I expect you to be there, man. I appreciate everybody who's already hung out with us all week. We've done 3 live shows all week long. I can't wait to do more of them throughout the offseason. But for now, I want you to see you on Sunday. We've got our biggest live stream in Chiefs Report history with Super Bowl, Super Chat giveaways, and so much more. So make sure you do that. But for now, we're going to talk a little bit about the latest Super Bowl clips and interview talk. So let's start with a little bit of our favorite quarterback, Patrick Mahomes, talking on, well, this defense and how defense can certainly win championships.
Yeah, it has to. I mean, whenever you have a defense playing at this level, whenever you have some of those opportunities where you might have taken that chance in the past, you don't. You go to the check down or you go to the next read because you know that your defense, even if it doesn't work out, is going to get a stop and get you the ball back. And I think I've learned that about playing the quarterback position is you have to be the best quarterback for your team. You can't be just the best quarterback or the best stats or whatever it is. You have to find a way to win the football game, and that's what I'll try to do this year.
Kind of give this vote of confidence that even you didn't think he could have, but he just knows his defense is top tier. And it's going to be really important because, like I said, the 49ers have a ton of weapons. It's going to be a really huge part of this game on how well this Chiefs defense can control the 49ers. But the same can be said for the 49ers defense. The Chiefs defense, in my opinion, on paper, and overall this season has been way better than the Niners defense has been this year. And they're going to have to deal with the second best running back in the National Football League, Isiah Pacheco, who is different.
You have a very physical running style, but you have the speed to get to the outside and breakaway speed as well. Right now and growing up, which running backs did you emulate your game after?
I like this.
None of them. I'm different. Shout out to my OGs, though. AP. Big bro, always show love on the FaceTime calls when I connected, reached out to him. Just love, big bro, always.
I think that may be my favorite quote of Super Bowl Media Week and just the opening night, just because, like, that's Pop. That's Pacheco. He's different. And overall, this postseason, he has been different. 3 touchdowns in 3 games, 1 in each performance, and over 250 yards. This guy has been really exactly what the Chiefs needed, and I honestly think we talked about it in our live shows this week. He could potentially be a game changer, unlike Brock Purdy, who may be a game manager. We'll find out. I don't know. I'm not going to say anything. I don't know. But I will say this. Although Pacheco could be a game changer, there are some guys who I look at and think, okay, if you play well, there's a legitimate shot I could see you coming out of this with a huge vote of confidence from everybody. And there's one guy in particular that, well, has played great in the postseason, but his regular season didn't exactly start off right. We got a bunch of talking with Marquez, Valdes-Scantling on drops, on way he's battled through adversity, and ultimately his trip to the Super Bowl now. So let's listen to MVS and kind of his trip throughout the season on drops and all that positivity.
Just staying the course, to be honest. There's going to be so many ups and downs, especially when you're coming off the Super Bowl, winning a season like we did the year before. We're going to get the best shot from everybody, week in and week out. And so being able to just weather the storm and keep playing through adversity, that's kind of how we've had to approach the season all year. And we're battle tested, but we came out right on time how we should be.
How much of it?
To be honest, man, like I said, my faith has never wavered, my confidence never settled. I've always believed in myself. My teammates always believed in me. We always believed in each other. Like I said, we got each other. It's not like anyone was down on me or I was down on myself. It was one drop, and it's not gonna alter my career in any way, shape, or form. It's one of those things where you obviously want to make every play, but it's impossible in this league. And obviously that play wasn't the reason why we lost, but it was the reason that could have helped us win, and I didn't make it. And so we move on and keep playing. Just opportunities, man. I'm not a different player in January than I was in August. like I'm the same player. Just different opportunities to go out and make plays. They just always happen to be big playoff moments throughout my career. But like I said, I'm the same guy every day. I never get too high, never get too low.
He talked about how
the same guy every day. Is there something different about performing on the bigger stage when the lights are on?
No, I wouldn't say that there's anything different. I mean, obviously we want to perform well at any situation. I don't see anything different than week 1 to week 21. I just approach it the same way, and that's kind of it.
Marquez Valdes-Scantling has been the biggest flip-around story from the regular season to the postseason. Like his regular season, he had drop after drop after drop, none bigger than that Eagles game, and yet in the postseason, he's made some incredible catches. So I ask you this. Do you trust in MVS going forward in Super Bowl 58? Why don't you let me know in the comment section of today's video. Type T for trust if you can trust him. Type N for no if you're thinking, I don't think so. I am not going to put all my faith on a guy who continuously made horrible drops all year long. But hey, the same can be said about Kadarius Toney. He had a huge punt return last year in the Super Bowl. He could do the same this year. I'm curious to see those guys who had problems throughout the year, how they perform in the Super Bowl because, well, the Chiefs have kind of been known to have players who just kind of come out of nowhere at the end of the year and provide a difference-making play or something of that. Like, I could see Felix Uzoma coming and making a big sack, with Charles Omenihu being out. So I'd be curious to see what happens with that. But for now, do you trust Marquez Valdes-Scantling? Type T for trust, type N for no. We're going to go into some Drue Tranquill as on the defensive side of the ball. It's going to be very important for the linebacking core to really stop Christian McCaffrey, along with just those under routes. We see a lot of guys who take the screen pass from Brock Purdy, take an under route, and then go for 50, 60 yards. And so if you can stop those under routes, then guess what? They can't take it to the house. So it'll be important for the linebacker core to try and expose Brock Purdy and potentially give the Chiefs another victory one last time in 2024 now with the 2023 season in Super Bowl 58.
I know Steve said all you have to do, turn on the tape. Brock Purdy's not a game manager, he's a game changer. What's kind of stood out to you about Brock Purdy and what he's been able to do in his first full season as a starter?
Yeah, it's wild. He's only in year 2. I don't know how he got the idea or the tag game manager. You look last week, he just finds ways to win. I think if you look at his record, he's probably off to one of the hottest starts any quarterback's ever gotten off to in the National Football League. He finds ways to win, whether it's with his arms. You look last week, I think he had 54 yards on the ground and extending plays. He's a really, really good quarterback. He's going to be a challenge.
He might not have a bazooka like Patrick Mahomes, but what are the difficulties with having to cover against a quarterback who has touch and accuracy to throw at that second and third level like him?
Well, he's got a great arm as well. He can throw the ball outside. He can throw it deep. He can throw it over the middle. I think of that third down. It might have been first down, but he rolled out and threw a use check on the sideline. He kind of toe tapped it, but throwing across his body at different arm angles. He's very talented as all regard.
Sure. It's been a few years with the Chargers and looking at the Kansas City Chiefs as a rival. What's it like to be a part of the Kansas City Chiefs now playing in the Super Bowl?
It's exciting. I remember walking into sign my first day, and I'm like, I should not be here. What's going on right now? I've been wearing blue for the last 4 years, and now I'm in red. But I've grown a tremendous amount of respect for this organization, a lot of love for this organization, and what they've done for me and my family, and just thankful for this opportunity.
Kyle Shanahan's looked at as a very innovative, creative offensive mind, and they have a bevy of weapons from Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, George Kittle, and Christian McCaffrey, and Brock Purdy really likes to target the middle area of the field. What types of challenges does the Niners offense present your defense?
Well, I think to put it simply, they do a really good job of marrying their run plays to their pass plays. Specifically at the linebacker position, it's very hard to see the difference between a run play and the same play action off of that. They're able to get guys biting in the run game, and Brock does a great job of getting the ball downfield to those playmakers. I think one of the biggest challenging things that they do well, too, is just their run after the catch. Across the board, you look at Christian, you look at George, you mentioned Ayuk, Deebo, Juszczyk, Jennings, Ray McLeod. Like, they've got a lot of guys that can carry the ball after the catch, and tackling is going to be really important.
Drue Tranquill kind of envisions that confidence, and I liked what he talked about with the whole Chargers thing, how he's been on the opposite side of Patrick Mahomes for a lot of his career, but now he gets to be with him, and well, first year, he's in the Super Bowl, the whole text conversation with him and Andy Reid saying, hey, see red and win Super Bowls, and well, Drue Tranquill has a chance to do exactly that come this Sunday. And if you want to get a ticket to the big game, and you want $100 off, well, use code VEGAS100 because anybody on the Game Time app can get $100 off that big game ticket with their nice little deal using code VEGAS100 right now. Now, obviously, we do have the code Chiefs Chat for $20 off your first purchase. So if you haven't already, go download the Game Time app and create an account and then use that code Chiefs Chat for $20 off your first purchase. But the Vegas 100, well, anybody can do that. They got killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seat, and with their best price guarantee, Game Time is going to take the guesswork out of buying tickets. Obviously, we got the big game on Sunday, but baseball season is just around the corner. And I got to be honest, Kauffman Stadium is pretty beautiful. It's right next to Arrowhead. So, heck, go get a little Chiefs shirt in the Chiefs store, and then go watch Bobby Witt Jr. smack a couple home runs into the fountains. I'm telling you, you're going to want to check it out. So, get $20 off your first purchase by using code Chiefs Chat. But this Sunday, you're going to the big game, $100 off for anybody on the Game Time app using code VEGAS100. Do not miss out on it. Here's all you have to do. You got to take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. With that Vegas 100, you're going to get $100 off the big game ticket. Terms apply. Just download the Game Time app and create the code VEGAS100 for $100 off the big game ticket. Or if you're not going to the game, you got something in your area you want to check out. Maybe not the Royals, but there's something you want to go to, a concert, a comedy event, sporting event. Well, guess what? You can use code Chiefs Chat for $20 off your first purchase of any kind. Download the Game Time today. Last-minute tickets at the lowest price, guarantee. Telling you, the Chiefs Super Bowl has been a whirlwind of a ride to get here, but I think somebody who maybe we forget about in the drama of this season is Chris Jones, because people forget he was in a holdout at the beginning of the season. He missed the first game. You remember that picture of him sitting in the box with his two mob boss agents to the right and left of him? Yeah, that happened this year. It's kind of wild, and now with him on there and the way this defense has just kind of grown, I'm not going to front. They proved me wrong. You can find clips of me in September, in August, saying the Chiefs defense is probably bottom 25. They're number one, and it's not close, and I think it's because of the depth, and Chris Jones thinks the exact same thing.
I think depth can go a long ways. Injuries can happen in this game at any point in time. So when you're comfortable enough if someone goes down that you got somebody else to back them up, even compatible, I think it gives you a sense of comfortability.
Obviously, the depth has been a huge part of this season, but how do you build depth? Well, you draft well. You get the younger players built up. You sign some great guys like Mike Edwards, who's come in and played really well. Drue Tranquill, who's come in and played really well. But it really starts with Brett Veach's ability to draft young talent. Trent McDuffie, Brian Cook. I know he's not playing, but he's still really, really good. You talk about guys like Joshua Williams, Jalen Watson. There's a lot of guys who have just kind of really grown up. George Karlaftis. They know what they're doing, and the youth of this defense is, in some ways, a good thing. And it's really propelled them to the Super Bowl. Chris Jones, the leader of it, he even knows it. The youth has been a powerful movement in KC.
I think it has a lot to do with coaching and the development of players, but also the leaders in the group. The coaching kind of puts the blueprint in front of the leaders, and the leaders kind of execute it. So I always say that you're only as good as your last player on defense, and we don't really have a bad guy on defense. I think everybody is honed in and trusting in each other and believing in each other, and it's been about progression all year. It's not how you start, it's how you finish. So you got a guy like Chamari, who really haven't had an opportunity to start because we got Jay Reed, and Brian Cook went down, asked Chamari to step up and play rookie year, and he came up big for us in a lot of big games. So
now, Chris Jones obviously can speak a lot to the youth because, well, he's not exactly a youth anymore. But I think the one guy that maybe has, I guess, really grown from Jones and overall just kind of built himself to try and become one of the best defensive linemen just like Chris Jones is George Karlaftis. And I kind of wondered about this. We all kind of heard this offseason about Chris Jones and the drama that went on with the holdout, all this stuff, and people started to question how good of a teammate he actually was, if he actually cared. Well, obviously, it only took one game for him to come back. He came to terms with Brett Veach, ended up with an incentive program basically the entire year, which he can earn a lot of money, by the way, if the Chiefs win this game. But on top of which, we can tell from his teammates around him and the young guys around him, like George Karlaftis, that, listen, he's here and he's doing well, but he's also mentoring these young kids. He's making sure that they know exactly how to do proper things, and ultimately, they adjust to NFL life and how to get better. George Karlaftis speaks to this the best. Let's hear from him.
Chris Jones is a great player. What can you learn and what have you learned from a player like that, from preparation to pass rushing moves to him just being a menace?
Chris, I gotta say this about Chris, man. He's just before I even touch on the football part, he's just a great, phenomenal human being, man. He's a great friend, a great person, great teammate, and we love him being around and all that kind of stuff. For me, he's been instrumental in whatever success I've had. He's helped me a lot. Just constantly pushing me to become better, giving me tips, pointers, and that kind of stuff all the time. And he's awesome to play next to. Obviously, he commands a lot of respect, and can't say enough good things about Chris.
Karlaftis and Jones are set to have a huge part in this game on Super Bowl Sunday. But the real question is, the young kid, second-year guy out of Purdue, or Chris Jones, stone-cold vet, who's going to get the first sack of Super Bowl 58 on the Chiefs side? Is it going to be George Karlaftis that I want you to type G? Or is it going to be Stone Cold Jones that I want you to type C? Let me know in today's comment section. And we got another clip while you do that of Trent McDuffie. Obviously, the big plays are going to be a huge part of this game and how to stop them on the Chiefs side. Well, Trent is a huge part of that, and he's a young guy as well. What did he say about stopping Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, and George Kittle, along with Brock Purdy to some extent?
Getting hands on the receivers, disrupting the timing, and just making it hard for them to get open. We know that Brock Purdy can scramble. We know he can make plays, extend plays with his feet. And so just outworking the receivers are going to be huge for us.
Now, Trent McDuffie, along with L'Jarius Sneed, the two cornerbacks, are going to be huge parts in limiting the big plays. But when you talk about big playability and who's going to be on coverage with that, you have to go more kind of deeper into the secondary of the Chiefs. That's going to be the secondary. So Justin Reed and Mike Edwards, and to some extent Shamari Connor, the rookie out of Virginia Tech. They're going to have to really try and make sure that there's nobody getting past them. I don't want to see Deebo Samuel on a streak route behind or rather in front of Justin Reed or Connor or Mike Edwards. I don't want to see that. And, well, guess what? Reed has been in this position multiple times before, and he knows how to handle it. So, guess what? We asked him the same question, how to limit the chunk plays against a 49ers offense that has had a bunch of them this year.
Confidence in yourself when your number is called, confidence in the system to just go out and execute and believe it, confidence in your teammates that when they're supposed to have your back in the coverage, that they're going to be there to have your back so that you can go out and execute your responsibility better. Chamari's been great for us all season, special young talent, and Veach just does such a great job finding these guys, man, because they come in and they make big plays for us when we need them.
About that young secondary, because last year it was Joshua Williams, it was Jalen Watson, it was obviously Trent McDuffie. Now you got Shamari, Brian Cook started to come into his own as well. What is it about I don't know if it's the scouting, the coaching, what it is to be able to unearth that young talent?
It's a little bit of all of the above. It's the scouting to find the talent, first and foremost, find the right guys for the locker room, guys that are going to buy into the system, that are humble, hard workers, willing tacklers, and can pick up the playbook. And then secondly, it's just the system, the culture that we built here, that we trust in each other. And, we have belief that when we're on that field that as long as we have each other's back, man, we can go out and accomplish anything that we put our minds to. So anytime Chamari's on the field, I have the utmost confidence that he's going to go out and make every play that is presented in front of him.
Obviously, the big playability for the 49ers is something to watch, but I think I want to go to the 49ers here and talk a little bit about their versatility, because ultimately I think that's the reason they were the number one seed. I think that's the reason they've got here. They have pretty much anybody and everybody you could ask for on the offensive line, on the wide receiver core, in the running back room, in the secondary. I mean, we were talking about last year before the trade deadline how Elijah Mitchell was going to be so good. He's the backup this year to CMC, who is the best running back in the National Football League. But you talk about Fred Warner, top-tier player. Charvarius Ward, top-tier player. Debo, everybody that they have can be used in so many different ways. And, well, they also have one of the best fullbacks in the entire league, maybe the best in Kyle Juszczyk. And he knows the versatility has been a huge part of why the Niners are even here. And, well, the Chiefs, it's going to be something they're going to have to worry about.
In order to be, I feel like, truly the best at your position, it's about being able to play your position at a very high level, but also being able to play other positions at a very high level. And I think his ability to catch the ball, to legitimately, he's played wide receiver on third downs. I think that is what makes him so difficult to defend. And same with all the other skilled players on our team, with Debo being able to play running back, with me being able to play tight end, with George being able to play fullback or receiver, all that sort of stuff. I think that's what makes guys truly the best at their positions.
Now, I like that because Juszczyk obviously talks that pretty much their entire room is great. But I also respect the 49ers and the way they've kind of handled their interviews in a lot of ways. Well, to some extent, but let's kind of forget about the stuff they said about the whole holding stuff. That's Nick Bosa. That's going to take him out of the park. But on the other side, Chase Young, who has really kind of come on strong, has kind of shown some positive, outlook on a couple of Chiefs players, with the first one being Chris Jones, who he called, quote, the best defensive lineman in the National Football League. Check it out.
Oh, yeah. I feel like right now, if not the best interior pass rush in the league, I don't know who is. Great hands, knows how to leverage when he's pass rushing. Just a hell of a player, man.
Now, Chase Young didn't just talk about the best guy on the defensive side for the Kansas City Chiefs. He also talked about the best player in the National Football League, and Patrick Mahomes. And obviously, Chase Young, he's going to want to sack him all night long come Sunday. But he does show respect for how good Mahomes has been in his first 6 years. Chase Young sees it very clearly.
Year in and year out, he always ends up at this game, and it's for a reason. It's how those guys execute and handle business. So, all praise to Patrick. We're going to do our best to stop him.
Obviously, it's going to be a lot of positive things and a lot of good matchups to watch on Sunday. And guess what? We're going to be right here for you on the Chiefs Report live at 3:30 Central Time. So we appreciate you hanging out with us today. And if you made it to the end of the video, do me a favor, go down there, type Real One. We appreciate you hanging out with us all week long. And Chiefs Kingdom, we're just a couple days. We got a couple more videos to come out over the next couple days to kind of get you ready. But for now, Chiefs Kingdom, that's all we got. We will see you on Sunday. Peace out.